Hi, I'm Birta, and as you can see, I'm still in the middle of moving or packing or whatever this is. So my regular setup kind of thing is currently unavailable. So we're gonna move to another room. Give me a second. Since we're still staying here, this is basically the only area that is not filled with stuff. So I know this is my bed, don't get weird about it. What I want to do right now is go over all my makes and my mistakes in 2021. So I want to go over each garment of the things that I have sewn in 2021 and see how I progressed. Like, I haven't even been sewing for a year now. I started in February last year, and that's when I made these. So these are the first dresses that I ever made. I decided, because I didn't want to waste fabric on making something for myself without absolutely any knowledge on whether I liked sewing or whether I want to keep doing this, I decided to make my bunnies costumes. This is actually made from a dress, so the frilly things here came actually together. So each one of those were sleeves on said dress. I just kind of put them together. The bodice is absolutely my own make. I'm not gonna put them through having this on again because I really want to be able to put this on them and let them run around like outside or something, but the weather is just rainy as hell right now, so I'm not gonna do that. I'll show you photos instead. Kalle was wearing this for, it's called Öskudagur, it's the Icelandic Halloween. He was supposed to be Minnie Mouse, otherwise he could have also been just a cute little dancer. And Georg was supposed to be Dorothy. So this is my second make, and as you can see, like, this is the first time I gathered something on the skirt here. I was a little struggle buggy with the bodice here. I mean, I learned a lot from making this, and especially when and how everything comes together, when you're supposed to do each step, I guess. And if you want something hidden, like, how are you gonna do that? And I even have some raw edges here still, and I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I still think it's cute. I still think Georg was the absolute cutest Dorothy from Oz. He's so cute, he's so adorable, but they absolutely hated these. I think the main reason why I was having such a hard time with this one was because I made the buckle and strap kind of thing into it as well. I just had never done that before, and this material that this is made from is very thick. At first with this one was using this kind of a stretchy material, and I don't think I had the correct needle for it, so it kept jamming my machine. But now I know better. I haven't been there yet again with sewing with anything stretchy, just because my wardrobe doesn't really require me to make anything stretchy because I don't wear stuff like that. This absolutely taught me how different fabrics can have different requirements, I guess. I decided that my next project would be creating reusable bags, because we collect our bottles and we can take them to get them returned. And ever since I was a kid, I remember everyone, not just my family, but everyone collecting all the bottles in these big black garbage bags. Instead of using these black garbage bags that people don't even take with them back, they just put them in the bin at the place, I decided to create reusable bags. I have 2 in rotation, so whenever one is filled up, I can put another one up and I can like rotate them, as how that works. And I absolutely love them. And people have asked me, what if something spills into the bag or whatever? So my solution to that is to just have the can or bottle or whatever empty before you put it in. And if anything spills, just make it out of a fabric that you can put in the washer and no problem. I made mine out of bed sheets, and you can actually make, I think it's 3 or 4, depending on the size that you want, on the bags. And if you want to make smaller bags, I think you can make 6 to 8 bags. So that's definitely a lot, and you can just, it's easy to close them. You can just wrap a string around them or whatever way you prefer to be able to close your bags. After making something for the rabbits, I finally made myself something. It was close to Easter, but it was also kind of close to summer, and I had thrifted yellow curtains. And what I did with said yellow curtains was I really wanted to make myself a skirt. I had never made a skirt before, or any article of clothing for myself for that matter. So I made myself a skirt and decided to do a pinafore dress as well. So this is my absolutely first me make for myself. It's a pinafore dress that I absolutely love. Looking at it now and whenever I'm wearing it, I now know way better how to finish my garments. This was also the first time I was sewing in a zipper. I've never done that before. There's absolutely no stretch in this material, no give at all. So it was also kind of learning how to measure a waistband and work from there. It is very tight on me still, and I think the reason is I didn't have long enough seam allowance for the waistband. But this zipper is horrendous. It's horrible. I still wear this. I still think it's kind of cute. Also, finishing on the inside here is not the best. When I show you my different projects, this is where I was coming from. This is the start of everything. This is the back of the pinafore. I'm still very much an amateur. I mean, it's still better than finishing like this. I finally caught on that it might be wise to try and buy a pattern and work and make something from a pattern, because obviously you have measurements, you can make something and it's pretty much just cut and sew according to instructions. I figured I might need that in my life, and the opportunity came when Sailor's Day was right around the corner here in Iceland. So I wanted to make myself a blue Sailor's Day dress. I did not have a blue fabric anywhere, and I wanted to keep in the kind of thing of thrifting my fabrics still. So this is all I found. I mean, I don't hate the dress. I just figured for this pattern that I chose, it probably needs something a little bit lighter, a little bit more flowy and airy. I think this is just too bulky and hefty for this pattern. I didn't have the eyes yet to know like the structural kind of details that I would be wanting to look for in a pattern. When I was just about done with the bodice, I was kind of not too impressed with how the collar looked, because in all the photos, and I probably could have Googled this to figure out, but in all the photos I could never see the collar, so I didn't really realize what it looked like, and I didn't really think about it. It still looks nice, it's just not what I wanted, okay? Another thing I'm still having trouble with is this interfacing inside of the collar kind of thing. It always bunches up and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do about it. So if you have any tips and tricks for me to fix this, because this is always bunched up and sometimes it goes like up like this, and I hate it, and I would love to fix it, but I just don't know how. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because this is not the only garment this has happened to. Let me know how I can fix that, or at least what I would be able to Google. This is the first time I made pockets. I love the fact that this dress has pockets, and I've used this pocket pattern on other projects because I just like my things to have pockets. I think this dress is cute, but I don't think I will be wearing this, and I know someone that might, so I will be giving this away. For the 17th of June, I really want to make a traditional Icelandic costume, because the 17th of June is the National Icelandic, not costume day, it's the National Icelandic holiday. I want to make myself something fancy and nice. And this is, I think, my first garment that is actually kind of professional. So this one here, this vest that I made, and when I say it, I feel like it's more professional than anything else I've made. That's in terms of construction, that's in terms of selecting the fabrics, and everything is very much correct except the sizing. It doesn't fit on me, and that's infuriating, and I'm very sad about it. But this taught me so much. First of all, taught me to look at the sizing, look at my sizing, look at, or the model sizing, or whoever will be wearing the garment, look at the sizing on your pattern, and don't just rush into things because you're excited. So that's what I did, and unfortunately that ended up with me making something that was too small. I still very much like this. I like the back, and this is all made from, like, everything I have made, I think, to date is sewn from thrifted fabrics and thrifted materials. So I kind of want to try and keep it that way for as long as I can. Just see what I can find and let that inspire me in what I want to make and what that thing becomes from there. I'm definitely gonna make another attempt at making this. It's either gonna be from the same thing, or it's gonna be a completely new one and someone else will get to keep this. That will probably be coming this summer, so if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you then. I feel like I should do honorable mentions with all the things that I thrift flipped, such as the 2 vests that I thrift flipped and the 2 skirts that I thrift flipped. And I don't think there were too many other things that I changed, but maybe I will keep doing that for this year. Yeah, I might. For some time of summer and all the way to fall, vests were kind of in the zeitgeist for me. I think that's the correct way to use that word. I was working a lot with vests, and that did not stop when Hobbit Day came around. I made myself into a character in Lord of the Rings Online. I created a hobbit, I bought some clothes, and I decided that I would want to recreate those clothes, and I would want to become my hobbit self from Lord of the Rings Online, okay? This is the first garment that I made, and this is actually not the same. It's a size up from the vest pattern that I used for the National Day costume thing, and I really like it. I really like the red. I absolutely hate the purple lining on the inside, and I'm kind of neutral. Would probably change the this lining, the outer lining on the vest itself, but I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I love the buttons. And this is actually the first time I altered a pattern. On the national costume you can see that there's lacing in between because the corset doesn't come together. That's not only because it doesn't fit me, it's the way that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a corset vest kind of a deal. I had to elongate these front parts here to be able to put buttons on them. As you can see, I'm halfway through hand stitching around the buttonholes, but I absolutely love the buttons. I didn't think I would, but I wear this vest on the regular. It's actually in rotation in my closet right now. So that's so much fun to be able to make something that is essentially a costume, but I can still use it and I love it. Like, even on top of this, it's not too bad. It's not, I mean, it's a look, but it's not too bad. It's kind of cute. I never realized I would be wearing this much, but just do it for yourself. Even if it's a costume that you're making or not, have a lining in a color that you like, because I sometimes hate looking at this and I put it on and I'm like, oh yeah, actually it is just red. It's nicer than whenever you look at these two together, and they just don't mash, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. I always thought lining could be like, it just fabric, doesn't matter, nobody's gonna see it, but you will know. I've also yet to finish my actual Lord of the Rings Hobbit costume, so there will be some content based around that. So if you're interested in that, again, subscribe. I'll be here. On to Halloween. I made 2 garments for Halloween, one for me and one for my husband. And we went as pirates. We went as Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth Bennet. Elizabeth Bennet. Obviously, this shirt is too big on me, but I actually love wearing it. I've even slept in this, so I absolutely love it. It feels so cozy and nice. The only thing I would change, and that's not anything on the pattern, that's because I changed it, is this is a little bit too long. So this is the sleeve part here. Elizabeth Bennet. But that's actually just an easy fix. I'll just make it shorter. Luckily, we didn't have any Halloween parties because I made this way too late. And I had the same problem here on the inside of this shirt, is that this is bunching up, this interfacing part. Otherwise, I really like the shirt. The dress is something I also use a lot. This is my first attempt at Frankensteining together 2 patterns. So the top bodice part here is from a dress that I have a pattern from, and the skirt part is from I got sent one of the gores from Simplicity 9008 pattern because I've seen the swooshing and I really want to try it, and I agree, the swoosh is acceptable. And more than that. The only thing about Frankensteining together 2 patterns is whenever I wear this, it kind of does a little bunching up here on the sides. Don't know how to fix that yet, even though I even put more darts in the back than this thing requires. If I want to hide it, I just put a vest on top of it and it's just good to go. So happy with it. This was my second attempt at putting in a zipper. It's better than the first one, but it's nothing to write home about. I love this dress though. It's so comfy, so nice. Love this fabric. I think I could make all my clothing out of muslin, actually. I think this is muslin. I think it's just unbleached. And for the grand finale, I found a fabric that was so nice and lush and thick and wool and perfect for winter. When it got cold, it got like immensely cold in a short amount of time, and I made myself a skirt. But not only that, I made it into an attachable pinafore dress. I might have been a little bit vague in the video and I'm sorry about that, but I just attach it, detach it with these buttons here. This is on the front and this is on the back, and the amount of difference on the front and back on this piece and on the yellow skirt, yellow pinafore I made as my first thing is just whoo, it's a lot. It even has pockets. I used the same pattern as with the Sailor's Day dress, so I'm very happy with this. And it's clean, it's finished, it's so wearable, and I've gotten so many compliments about this. Kind of the only thing I would change right now is I was a little bit too excited to put on to be able to just close everything and be done with it, that I put these loop and hooks on the wrong side for me to be able to do it myself, because it's kind of the opposite way around from what I'm used to. So my muscle memory isn't working the same way, but it's just an easy fix. I will just have to take it off, sew it back in. With the top of the pinafore, so this is actually just made from scraps that were left from making the skirt, and I was so happy. I used the same skirt pattern as I did with the pirate dress, so I was very happy that I had made that before. I was not stuck with having to make something that it would attach to on the side or on the back or anything. I could just have a front piece and just cut out the basic shape that I wanted. The lining fabric was too long to begin with, so I made these buttonholes on here, but what happened when I would be wearing it is that the brown part here would be showing, and I didn't want that. So whenever I had the opportunity, I just made extra holes on the fashion fabric itself, and that is looking way better. I just haven't cut this off or sewn this up or whatever I end up doing with this yet, but it will happen sometime. That wraps up this 2021 makes and or some of my mistakes. What was your favorite of my makes? What was favorite of your makes? Definitely share with me what you made in 2021. It doesn't have to be related to sewing, but I would definitely love to see and hear from all your makes. I love to know it. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!